Welcome! Each week I go through the literature looking for interesting stories about weather and climate, and this video summarises the results for the week ending the 9th of February 2020. This week we're going to start at home with this picture in the background here, which is of a camellia that has just come out to bloom in my backyard. This is a full 6 weeks earlier than normal, and many other of our plants are growing or sprouting way before they normally do. Well, what would our air be like if we didn't have all that choking car exhaust fumes? Well, if you live in England, by 2035 you may well find out. The UK government has just announced that it will ban the sale of all petrol-driven cars by 2035. This brings their original plan forward by 5 years. The interesting thing about this is that they're including hybrids in that ban as well. So it's either going to be electric cars or hydrogen-driven cars are the only two that are going to be allowed to be sold. If they can do it there, ask ourselves, why can't we do it here? A new high temperature record was just set for Antarctica this week. A balmy 18.3 degrees centigrade, which is about 65 degrees Fahrenheit, was recorded at the Argentine research station on Antarctica. This beat the old record by about 1 degree centigrade, which was set in 2015. The research station chief said that it's a sign that the warming is happening faster than predicted. So here's an example of where the models were indeed wrong, but because they were too conservative. Heavy rains have hit Australia. This is a relief and is good news because it relieves some of the pressure of the hot and dry weather that they've been having, causing so many bushfires. 28 centimetres or about 11 inches of rain fell in parts of New South Wales. This helped to extinguish at least a third of the bushfires there. Of course, that's the good news. The bad news is that 2/3 of them are still burning. A massive winter storm hit the southeastern states of the United States this week. It's left over 300,000 people without power, 5 people dead and at least 1 missing. Tornadoes were reported as far north as Maryland. There was widespread flooding and damaging winds across the area from Louisiana all the way up into the northeast. On the cold side of the storm, 4 inches of snow fell in some areas. Canada is in deep freeze at the moment. An extreme cold weather alert has been issued for the city of Toronto. Temperatures of minus 17 degrees centigrade or about 1 degree Fahrenheit, with wind chills at about minus 25 degrees centigrade or minus 13 degrees Fahrenheit are expected. Up to 30 centimetres of snow, about a foot, is expected in Quebec province in general. There was a deadly double avalanche in Turkey this week. The first avalanche killed 5 people and left 2 missing. The second avalanche hit the rescue team, with 33 dead and 53 injured. Lake levels have hit new record highs. Lake Michigan is 10 centimetres or about 4 inches above record set in 1987. Heavy rains and early snowmelt have contributed to this, which is causing beach erosion, local flooding, and some of the walking and riding trails around the edge of the lake to be closed because of flooding. There's been major flooding in New Zealand, presumably from the same storms that hit southeastern Australia. The South Island was inundated with nearly a metre of rain, that's 39 inches over a period of a few days. Tourists were trapped by floods and mudslides, and over 6,000 people had to be evacuated. Once again, the number of record highs set this last week have outpaced the number of record lows. This is a global picture, so we have 1,866 new record highs around the world, compared with only 372 record lows. That's a ratio of 5-to-1 and says the world is still warming. So that's it for today. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.